So, a very good morning, friends. In yet another round of the Friday debate that we have been organizing on the theme DX or digital transformation punctuated. This Friday, we bring a very interesting set of people from a very unique organization to talk about their experience and their perspectives. Friends, I'm talking about an organization started by the Art of Living Foundation, and it is the Sumeru Solutions. I have three gentlemen from Sumeru, Mr. Harish Ramachandran, who is the CEO there, Mr. Chidanandam, he is fondly called as Chida, and we have Mr. Santosh N. They're all senior people working with Sumeru. So Sumeru has a very unique history. It all started in the year 2001 when a few fresh IATians and some other guys working with big IT firms wanted to do something new. They wanted to stitch technology and social change together. And they found that there are two unique things about this whole game. First, that they had IT skills at hand, and starting a business at that stage made immense sense because India was growing as the IT destination, the IT capital for the world. And two, uh, that they were big fans of the art of living movement. So when these two things came together, Sumeru Solution was born as an idea, and from there, for the last 20 years, it has now grown into a very large organization having multiple lines of services and numerable customers across numerable industry verticals they serve today. Let me talk a bit about the art of living. Art of living tackles the most pressing issues of the humanity, attend to them with great poise and design workable solutions for them, all to create ripples of happiness in the world. By the year 2001, the art of living had touched over a million people from 150 different countries through their several projects. So when Sumeru Solutions was born, art of living was a force to reckon with, and uh, a moment which had involved millions of people uh, whose life was getting changed when they were associated with the moment. The team's why became clear. They wanted to do exceptional work, make profits, and fund the social project run by Art of Living. They were infused with commitment, vision, and a drive to excel. And they called themselves Sumeru. So, with that small introduction, I will now invite Mr. Harish Ramachandran, who is a pass out of the Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, in computer science and technology. And he is a 1995 batch graduate from IIT Mumbai. And he has been committedly working with Sumeru Solutions for the last 2 decades, since the time it was born as an idea to today when it is uh, a large, vibrant, and committed organization. So, Mr. Harish Ramachandran, over to you.
Thank you, Kapilji. So this topic DX punctuated is very intriguing, and it is uh, it has different meanings for me depending on what time of the lockdown it is, right? So and still it is not clear, and I'm sure most of us are in the same boat, so it is a fight for survival, and that's a thread which this is not something which we were thinking about, say, even on March 23rd of this year, but uh, uh, I personally, at that time, I thought that, I mean, the only inkling I felt was that, yeah, business could be slow, but the way things have happened, for me, it seems like it's a mix of an earthquake, a tsunami, and a super cyclone all in one place, and and just like cherry on the cake, there is a war also. So it's a it's like utter chaos, and things which we thought were uh, the done way of working earlier has totally changed. Sumeru, in its own way, I mean, work from home, for example, we always had that facility available for people, for a few people, and especially to cater to uh, you know highly highly talented engineers who wanted to be a part of Sumeru, who wanted to contribute to through Sumeru also to uh, the Art of Living's work, and who were also constrained to be in their own corner of India, whether it is Rajasthan, Hyderabad, whichever place. So work from home is always there uh, for a few people, but things have changed in that today our offices are empty, and everybody is working from home, and the initial period uh, uh, was on my mind that yeah, we had to cater to people's insecurities, if any. But I found that by and large there is a lot of resilience, and people have pulled up their socks and decided, no, come what may, we will fight our way through this chaos. So. And yeah, different processes within Sumeru had to change, and uh, the physical gap and the absence of sometimes some digital way of enforcing it meant that you're forced to trust or you're forced to accept certain things without a verification. But so be it, and we managed to kind of pull through for the last 4.5 months. And I would say that business wise, yeah, our customers are pretty much in the same situation as we are, and we've had very different approaches, very different feedbacks from customers. We've had customers who just abruptly said, "Sorry, I mean, we have no money. We can't continue consuming whatever you're giving us." There are others who have used it to bring down their spend on using our systems to say, no, no, there's no money, and yet we got to negotiate and pull it down. And there were others who were not yet a customer, but so on March 23rd, we were told that March 29th you'll get your PO, and it's a very large bank in India, and it was for something which is critical for their process, and uh, they and we are still waiting for the PO. So it's really caught everyone by surprise, and we've also seen like uh, uh, like I've heard from one of our prospects who it's a very well funded company, very well funded company, and he would tell me, Harish, just in early March I approved a contract for 30 lakhs, and it was just passed just like that. But now, if I need a spend of 10,000 rupees, it goes to my CEO, and then only it comes back. So things have changed. These are very turbulent times, and the art of living's way of meditation has given us a certain inner resilience to go through this. Yeah, that's it from me, Kapilji. Got it.
I think
Kapilji,
Kapilji, you're
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we can't
Thank
hear
you,
you,
Harish
Kapilji.
ji. Yeah, thank you, Harish ji. And I think that was a very candid way of putting your experience and how uh, lockdown impacted working from office, and how the resilience given by the art of living uh, training helped you bounce back. And of course, there are difficulties at the end of the customers. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, moving on to Chida. So, Chida, I will request you to come on screen and share your initial thoughts on the subject.
Sure. Thanks, Kapilji. I think Harish touched upon the aspects of towards employees, some related to customers as well. So I will go slightly deeper now into the real challenges. Like most of us, especially being in the business of IT services, IT consulting, IT strategies, the digital transformation has always been part of our journey. But there has been an uncertain challenges that has been put forth in front of us given these critical times of managing between retaining customers, engaging with employees, and making sure that we live up to the expectations of the ever-changing fluid plans of the customers in their shifting priorities and strategies has really been a challenge. Harish beautifully said, I think there has been a easy cakewalk in terms of agreed contracts that were on their way, locked up businesses that have been sealed and frozen, which there is no way to relook upon. There are only three things that has happened. One, there has been an abrupt stop, and there has been a hardcore renego on the existing sealed contracts that has happened. And on top of all of those, came back and said, we need to survive through this environment. You have to do something more. And can you consider giving us free? So it is not just in terms of renegotiating contracts. Some services has to be continued. And in spite of all of this, because of their cash flow crunch, the payments never came. So in spite of these tough challenges where everybody went through, there are a lot of good things that has also happened. There has been a very transparent, clear communication between customers, partners in different geos. While some geos took a hardcore hit, some geos actually helped. And the beauty part which evolved in these critical times was people who were never open to operate or let people operate from home. For example, we are into the business of security. We have been, especially for banks, when we do our security audits, it is an absolute mandate that we need to be in their environment, in their network. But now the travel is absolutely frozen. Nobody can travel anywhere. But now a bank, which is based out of Middle East, they were never open to anyone accessing any of their inputs from their, out of their prem. Even their servers are most of them on-prem and within their own country. Now gave access for us to do the testing, because that is something that we would have never imagined. In that sense, while there has been shift in strategy, there has been an adaptability that has happened overall, and that actually helped us do assessments from here, taking care of the security needs. So it has been a combination of the tough times that we had, squeezed in numbers, squeezed in top and bottom lines. We need to let go of renegotiating contracts, but it also opened up a lot of several opportunities in this space. While we have got completely used to work from home, a lot of companies have not used to. And when they need to they operate from that space, they need to retain their own set of customers, for which they need to have their people work from their own houses, their own packets. Now, what comes is the biggest challenge of connecting to corporate network, which is more secured. You had a firewall, you had almost everything in place, but you need to access them. Now, the entire landscape of security to secure your devices, as low as your EDR systems, to having connectivity with your SSL VPN, MFA, all in place, put together to ensure that your employees are operating, you're engaging with your employees so that you can retain your customers in spite of you not being able to come to office, has been the biggest challenge. And I think we, luckily, because of our experience into the security system, we adapted a new service called Secure Anywhere, which actually helped us partner with multiple security companies and put entire landscape, starting with CASB or EDR or SOC, or helping them with phishing, the end-to-end solutions, which will help ensure people securely work from their own pockets. And that something actually evolved with this thing. So it's been a combination, it's been a balance. But yeah, the times were tough. The decisions are not being taken because of uncertain future. Key resources have been let go or being replaced. But we are all, I think, accepted the challenge overall. And there has been a lot of support, discussion, brainstorming, crowdsourcing of help. Transparent discussions overall is available, and a fight between short-term and long-term commitment is happening. So overall, it's been a very exciting and challenging journey for Sumeru. And I think it is an ever-evolving journey till we see a light in the future.
Thank you, Chida. I think that was a great deep dive, and it kind of brings to my mind the metaphor of a glass which is half full and half empty. So, I mean, you have taken it a step further. We're saying that uh, the glass was full, then it became half empty. So, thank God, at least it is half full, and we have the hope and the courage today to fill the half which is empty. So, I like your enthusiasm, and I think that's what is required at this point in time, that we think of possibilities and opportunities, and the experience has been grueling to say the least, but such experience also teaches us important lessons. So,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for sharing your perspectives. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Chidanandam Arunachalam, who leads the services business of Sumeru. This includes a strong practice that provides tech for startups as well as mature and deep information security practice. They have conceptualized innovative offerings together to help companies overcome cybersecurity challenges in these COVID times. Thank you, Chida.
Thank you.
Moving on to our next speaker, Mr. Santosh N, and I will invite him to come on screen and share his initial perspectives. Over to you, Santosh.
Hi, everybody. So I'll take on from where Harish and Chida left, and I'll get into a slightly different perspective. So, COVID, we've heard of BCPs, DRs as concepts, and, none, when I say none, no organization, irrespective of its size, was ready. Nobody's BCP, nobody's DR plan was ready for such a jolt that COVID has presented us with. So today, BC and AD, the concepts itself has changed. We now say BC is before COVID and AD is after disease. So, in the BC world, innovations were driven by what we want to do or what we think is going to add value to our customers, and what we think is going to get us, an edge over our competition, what we think is going to get us more customers. It was an internal decision. It was part of a boardroom discussion. There were ideas that, always were powered by our thought, our imagination, our requirements, our targets. So there was a lot of internalized decision making on digital transformation or on any other innovation for that matter. But today it has changed. One, COVID has disrupted our businesses to such an extent that all our innovations are actually driven by how we can sustain, how we can pass through these times. Now, here also there are two thought process. There are people, who are thinking about how to, swim during this time and just get over this. But we've had interesting conversations with organizations, and we've had interesting internal conversations as well, where we are thinking how to make this an advantage. So that's the place where transformation comes into place. You have to do something drastically different and make that your biggest advantage in these troubled times. So since Harish and Chida touched upon the fact of how our working policy itself changed. People have started working from home, remote working, and innovations towards making that possible was more of the thing that was driving the initial period. Now we realize that in a way we understand that none of us know when things are going to be normal, and none of us are confident enough to say if things are going to be normal. Normal, when I say in the old sense, there is a new normal that we all have come to. How to, how to go through this new normal. At some point in time, there are industries that have to come and start working from their premises. We are representing the software industry. We are in the IT or ITES space, so we can definitely work from home for a continued period. But there are industries which have to come. They have to start working from their premises. The malls, the restaurants, any other customer-facing businesses. That is a place where we thought we had an existing capability of an audit software that was that has been proven over time, about 3 years, a million audits on the platform. Then we ourselves had to think about something new, and that something new was driven by the disruption that I was talking about. And then it was all centered about how to make this comeback possible. When you talk about the comeback, the ability to come and work from your premises, it is not about your conviction or it is not about your courage anymore. It is all about how safe is the environment or how safe you can make it. So then putting in processes, so people have started, everybody has a COVID protocol, everybody has a general safety protocol, which includes, COVID defense in the scheme of things. But then having a protocol is not enough. Having a eye for safety is not enough in these times. Safety has to be assured. So safety has to be, first of all, assured to the employees who have to come back and start working. And then it has to go on to the entire ecosystem. So we have to ensure safety to the, as I said, the employees, to people who visit our premises, like our vendors, partners, suppliers. And then we need to make safety felt to who matters the most, that is our customer. How that is possible, how that can be made possible, how safety can be assured, and how safety assurance can in itself become a game changer for businesses. So, for example, a ride handler, an on-demand ride handling company can say, I'm on time arrival of vehicles, is my USP. That's no more a USP. That has to become assured, safe, on-demand and on-time arrival of vehicles. Stays, for example, hotels, whether it is affordable stay or luxury stay, those in itself doesn't mean anything today. It has to become assured, safe, affordable stay or assured, safe, luxury stay. So the definition of our business offering itself has changed. So when we are interacting with customers, they are redefining their USPs. And one half of the redefinition is this innovation that they are putting in, is this transformation that they are putting in terms of making it assured safe. So that's my initial take on the way digital transformation is going and what is driving these transformations.
So that was very, very, very interesting indeed, Santosh. I think you have hit the nail on the head. You have very, very clearly said that along with quality assurance, what is also important is safety assurance. So far, I think for decades, the mantra for excellence in corporate world has been quality, but no more. Quality is alone enough. I think along with quality, safety assurance is also an important differentiator. Very, very aptly put. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Santosh N from Sumeru, who leads the Audit 360 product business for Sumeru. This is a unique product that digitizes checklist audits end to end. In the market since 2018, it is used by leading microfinance institutions in India and Southeast Asia. And how this has been converted into a 360 a care 360 product that helps organizations assure safety. So it is not just about thinking safety or doing various activities in a haphazard manner around safety, but it is about following a process which assures safety. So very, very well put. So now I will have the floor open, or rather, I should say the screen open, and we will have uh, all the three guests coming and speaking about things. So my first question that comes to my mind is with Harishji. Harishji, you have been involved with Sumeru for two decades now since its inception, and I had the privilege of interacting with you at different points in time, and I know how vibrant and how different is the organization. So I know that during the breaks there are meditation sessions, and people are talking and following a right work-life balance, and they are keeping time for attending to their mind and body, and how it can be kept fit to be able to work as well as be happy with that. Now, during this lockdown, you talked about the resilience and how the practice of 2 decades has helped the organization become highly resilient. What are few things in terms of products, in terms of way you handle customers, in terms of way you function? What are one, two, three things which are new that you have discovered at Sumeru? You have to unmute yourself.
Like the, uh, it's like the I think Chida and Santosh have spoken about innovation, and I don't think I can say anything more different. The now earlier innovation uh, may have been perhaps the prerogative of the innovation team, perhaps, but today you everyone has to think on their feet and really come up with something without upsetting the apple cart. So. So yeah, the realization that innovation is perhaps an inherent ability, and it just comes out to the fore when there is pressure all around. So this is one thing which I have observed, that the ability to respond to a changing situation with some relevant solutions. This is one thing. And I would say another aspect is mm, uh, the again, it's like again Santosh touched upon it as a new normal, that maybe certain processes which which we used to hold as sacrosanct, we have we've had no choice but to let go of that in a in order to work more freely in this new situation. So for example, the way how the leaves of people are handled, it's no more the old way. And there is, like Chida said it nicely, it was a sense of transparency. There's, yeah, okay, you're at home, we're not going to be breathing down your neck, and you may be lying down and working, but still, the need to keep uh, 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 enhancing that trust with a positive way of channelizing that towards better productivity. So that is there. And the third is, like I've seen, there's uh, a willingness amongst people, teammates, colleagues, that uh, so one way to work is to be very cynical, that yeah, you pay me, I do the job. That's one way to work. And but it's interesting how a crisis can actually cook you, such that even when that shifts to into a situation to say no. I mean, this is something. It is there's something about me, but also a realization that if I do well, then my team can also do well, and so my colleagues are also impacted with what I do. That realization is also very, very strong. So these three things I have really noticed. It has just come up like much more obvious in this entire scenario.
Great. So you're saying that some of these things which were inherently there, but we were latent, and the crisis has kind of made it come out and exhibit itself in full steam.
Yes, true.
So very nicely said. So Santosh and Siddha, would you like to add upon that? What is the new at Sumeru?
I will I will like to add one more perspective. Like I think Santosh touched upon very beautifully, saying that innovation is no more a boardroom discussion. It is predominantly about what is driving the end result. So, in that perspective, overall, things that have been considered as drivers like new technology adoption or helping with automating processes, workflow changes, security related aspects, all that which considered as drivers, they have during this period has become just enablers to just achieve what you wanted to or what your customer wanted to achieve. I think the whole shift is towards the customer centric focus on like Santosh said, the USPs have changed. Innovation is no more decided by what you wanted to have. Rather, I think everything shifted in that direction. So, in that sense, if you had a sense to read the market on where it is heading to in this situation, either be safety or be your quality or everything, I think has become the enablers to achieve the end goal of sustenance and setting a path of where you want to be in future after the disease or after COVID. And that what are the steps that you're taking today and what initiatives that you will do, reading the market, balancing both aspects. I think that has become the key drivers. The reading the market is my viewpoint is that every change or the transformation has all become absolute enablers into what is. And again, there is a full-fledged potential of what is already existing within your environment. Making use of them for the new use cases, adapting what is already available with you, understanding what you can solve better with your existing ecosystem, and taking your aspects towards that, even for internal improvement, team collaboration, or for customer, identifying the use cases to solve with existing is been happening within the organization, within customer organization, because I would have never imagined that customer will look at compliance himself with his team because he needs to just start doing reskilling. All he thought was that he will enable his team. So the proposal that we made to the end customer is that we will use your team. We will implement SOC, for example, for monitoring. Use your people who are on bench. So that actually worked. A mixed proposal which they would have never been willing to. And the second option which we went through was we will put in a place complete procedures and policies related to privacy. Let your team take care of the entire implementation based on guidance from us. I think a mixed collaboration between customer team members with their reskilling and adaptation actually helped us take it forward because they had their team to manage, which was their headache. When I made a proposal to manage this too, I think that gave us a cutting edge to strive through the difficult times. That's something that I thought I'll add to this.
Very interesting. So you are saying that exceptional times required exceptional, reactions, and yeah. So and yes, why when things were challenging and they were getting difficult, like Harishji said that those inherent strengths were identified and they came to fore, and that age-old difficulty of egos coming in and human inertia, creating delays were all gone, because we were all fighting the same pandemic together, and that feeling of togetherness came, and you didn't care whether it is done by you or by the customer. The work has to be done. So
Exactly.
that's what the urgency of the situation demanded, and that is what was done. Very, very aptly put. So I'll come to Santosh. Santosh, do you have anything to say in terms of? So you have discovered a new product, a new approach to assuring safety. Apart from that, do you have more perspectives to add to this? Whole perspective of what's new.
So, a couple of points which I would like to touch upon. One, with our existing product itself, actually, as we speak during this lockdown period, we did, or we are in the process of, we completed one successful go live on the Audit 360 platform, and we are on the verge of go live for another customer. One customer is in Laos, the other customer is in Bangladesh. Both these customers, initially when we started the engagement with them and we closed the deal with them, they were expecting us to go there and do the onboarding, hand holding and the adoption of technology. We were expected to visit and run all these processes. Neither the customer nor the customer, when I say the decision makers over there, nor the team that was involved, the users, both of them were not convinced about this idea of remote go live. Now, what has happened during this period is that the product is bought, it is there, the capability is sitting right in front, work has to happen. So, why not make use of the time and give it a try? So, we gave it a try. It so happened that the customer now is realizing that a complete 100% remote, onboarding is possible. And we are also, while we are doing this, we are also discovering newer ways of, handling such requirements and confidently talking to people sitting in the other corner of the world. We are talking to customers in Africa. We are talking to customers in Australia, where we have planned go lives like this completely remotely, and where we have come up with webinars. We have come up the whole engagement, the customer engagement, and the way we approach customer success itself has changed internally. Plus, in terms of the product, yes, Care 360 we did touch upon. Within Audit 360 also, now what is happening? Initially, people said, I'm not doing audits. My people cannot visit the branches while, I'm into customer facing business. I'm getting a certain amount of staff in my premises. So it is in a rotation manner. So for 30% of my staff are coming, but my auditors are centrally placed. They have to cover a set of branches. They are not allowed to travel. So I'm not going to do audit. That was the first reaction to the situation. But as we move on, now we have come into the fourth month. Practically today, yesterday we completed 4 months. So we cannot stop audits. That's one realization that everybody has had. So now people are thinking how audits can happen remotely. And thankfully, we have been thinking in these lines. And we are now bringing in features to our product where such remote audits can be made possible. How people can sit where they are. So our features initially were also driven by how to bring in technology to on-field audits. We brought in geotagging into audits for the microfinance industry, just for people to be sure that the auditor was there at the place where he was supposed to be when he was conducting the audit. Now that was an extraordinary feature at that point in time when we brought that into the product. Now it is no more because nobody is going and doing audit in field. Now the innovation is about how people can sit at their place, either at their home or a nearby office there where they can reach and drive the entire audit process from there. That is where the innovation is going now. So it is that change, a fundamental change that has happened. What is outward has completely changed inward. We have to be where we are and still do things that we ought to do. That is on the audit side. That's the kind of innovations that we are bringing in. Care 360, obviously, it is fully focused on getting people back to their workplaces.
Thank you, Santosh. I think you made a very, very substantive point that what was considered as earlier seems impossible, seems possible today. So I think that's what I hear from all three of you, that what could not be thought of earlier is a possibility. We have found new strengths to deal with the challenge. It may have been difficult to begin with, but as we go along, we are building newer strengths, and that is giving us the hope and optimism to look for a better future, hope for a better future, and maybe jump wholeheartedly into creating a better future. And I'm sure your entire organization today is feeling gung ho about it. The challenges will not go away so easily, but what is important is the fact that we keep ourselves hopeful, we keep ourselves optimistic, and we do something. And I'm sure that doing something in order to help our customers, in order to help our employees, will result into something good, as you have also discovered. So I, as an analyst, I learned a whole new dimension to innovation, a whole new dimension to organizational resilience, whole new dimension to even if the glass is half empty, I'm hopeful that I will be able to fill it completely. So thank you so much for your thoughts and your time. It indeed was a great pleasure for me to have interacted with three of you. So thank you, Harish ji, thank you, Chida, and thank you, Santosh, for your time. And we will close the broadcast here. I will request if you can stay online for another minute or so. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Kapil.
Thank